But now this comes hot on the heels of a bombshell interview Meghan gave to an American magazine published yesterday, which included an anecdote she claims was made by a South African actor at the Lion King premiere, who told her, "When you married, we rejoiced in the streets the same way we did when Mandela was released from prison." Wow. That bold comparison with her wedding to Prince Harry has offended none other than Nelson Mandela's grandson, who today hit back, declaring that overcoming 60 years of apartheid is not the same as marrying a white prince. Slamming the Duchess's comments, Mandela said that his grandfather's celebration was based on overcoming 350 years of colonialism, meaning the two events just cannot be compared. And I said this before, but one of my issues with Meghan is she is a bit tone deaf in the way that she communicates. I'm sorry, right? And I will say that she didn't actually make this comment herself. She didn't say my marriage to Prince Harry was like Mandela being free from prison. I think that would be taking it too far. But for me, the point is she repeated this comment, and she like you said, this podcast is scripted within every inch of its life, and you know everything she does now, because she's free of the royal family, everything she does is very calculated, right? This interview that she gave was very calculated. So to say that, just to even repeat it, you know you're going to stoke some ire, you know people are going to get worked up, right? Especially now where everyone is struggling to live, this cost of living crisis and all of that.
And that's the point, isn't it? You are internationally known now.
Exactly.
You know, before she married Prince Harry, OK, I mean, we've had this discussion before she met Prince Harry, she was known enough for the people who actually watched television or saw her on something, you know, saw her on things and everything else. When she married Prince Harry, she became world famous.
Yeah.
World famous, and therefore you have to be careful with what you say. Surely you have to be careful, or just own it and then just stop complaining about it.
Completely the opposite. She doesn't want to be careful. As you said, she wants to be calculating because she's earning a lot of money. The podcast went straight to the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Which is what justifies the fee. And I think the calculation is everything I do is I know exactly what I'm saying, I know it'll be talked about, and it justifies the money, and it'll earn us more money in the future.
You see, the thing is, though, that in the past, I would say that, you know, the Americans have been very much more supportive of her, but the New York Post ran the story on their front cover and called her petulant princess, one whose preferred crown is perpetual victimhood. And then there's a newspaper in Germany saying she's overshadowing her 25th anniversary of the death of Princess Diana.
Oh,
and
come on.
Well,
I mean, but this is even the French published something, an article about her saying the story of Meghan's self-destruction, right? This is not just us or the British press or the American press.
But
I mean, it's universal.
Yes,
Nigerian blogs sort of commented on her podcast saying, you know, this woman is completely all over the place. I've seen stuff in South African South African circles of social media. This is not just the British press being horrible about her. Okay. This is a fact.
But can I just add something here? Because I remember watching Nelson Mandela being released from jail. That path to... Was his book called The Path to Freedom? Yes. I think it was.
Long Walk to Freedom.
Long Walk to Freedom, yeah. I remember watching that moment and feeling incredibly emotional as I saw that. And then years later, I remember watching the royal wedding, you know, Harry and Meghan, and I remember thinking, I haven't felt like this since Nelson came out of jail.
But, no, you wouldn't.
It was there. It was in my very
gut instinct.
I really thought you were being serious.
For a lot of mixed-race people or people of colour around the world...
No one thought...
No, they wouldn't... Well, this guy did. A South African actor...
He's making it up.
...told her that he felt like this was a really big moment for him, personally, and he compared it to that experience.
He's bonkers in that case.
Please let me finish, because I think you'll find this interesting.
Go on.
The interviewer, in the same segment, which interestingly hasn't been picked up as much, said, of course, Meghan knows that she's no Mandela. And then he goes on to continue more of the interview. He also writes later on, or she, I'm not quite sure on the gender, says, I find myself worrying that the words I write about her will be misinterpreted and dissected rudely, maliciously.
Well, he should have thought about that
You
before he
just
said
don't
it.
compare Meghan Markle to... Like, those words shouldn't be the same sentence.
Then why aren't we criticising the actor? We're criticising Meghan for telling a story.
The actor.
Lots of people have said things about me that I would say are unfair.
I'm not criticising her really on this. I mean, as Esther said, she was happy to kind of retell it.
I criticise her for repeating it because she definitely knows that is going to get in the headlines.
But that's back to the American part, isn't it? It's back to that American, you know, I've got 5 O levels.
Why shouldn't it be repeated?
Because it's absurd.
No, it's not absurd.
And shameless.
That a moment in the past 3 years, 4 years, whenever they got married, as opposed to Mandela back then, it was a moment in that man's life where he felt progress had been made, and that is worthy.
Actually,
I'm sorry, that man needs therapy.
Of that, actually, the point where progress had been made was the photograph of the Queen, her mother, and the
Yes.
baby, wasn't it? Was
Exactly.
That to me was the
Yeah,
most
most
powerful
progress,
picture.
yeah.
That would have been a little bit more
No,
indicative
but he
of
knew that
progress.
that was going to be coming, didn't he? He knew that there would be a white grandmother being the Queen and a black grandmother united in that way.
I think he should get back in his box, whoever he is.
If you don't understand it, focus on the money, and this is all about cash.
Well, we've made some money out of it tonight, haven't we? So.